Hi and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Vince. Thanks for stopping by. You're very welcome here indeed. So that time of month again for our NMN website suppliers review. And there literally seems to be a new one every day appearing on the scene. Some with websites, some with Amazon pages only, some with eBay pages only, some with a mix of both. Very few with any provenance in the anti-aging field, and definitely quite a lot of them appear to be Alibaba or AliExpress drop shippers. I've been thinking about it because the list of sites that people are sending me is growing, and it looks as though I could do this for 2 or 3 years, one a month, and still not get to the end of the list. If you think I should do maybe 2 a month, let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested to see what you think. Well, enough waffling from me. Let's get into this month's website review. Okay, here we go. So the company selling NMN and resveratrol this month is Extra Lifespan, out of none other than Beverly Hills 90210. So this is their logo. Let's dive in and see what these people have got to offer. So this is the home page, and if we scroll straight down to the bottom, you can see here indeed that it is Beverly Hills, California 90210. If you look carefully, they've spelt Beverly Hills incorrectly. Not a showstopper, but certainly not a confidence builder. So this is what that address looks like. The owner of the company, one Peter Davidson, I know that this zip code is obviously quite large, and I'm guessing that Camden Drive is not a small place. So I wonder if Peter Davidson lives in one of these particular houses. So how long have Extra Lifespan been trading? Well, according to name.com, this site has been up since 17th of June 2019. So about a year and a half. So fairly new. And as I've said before, new isn't bad, it's just new. So on first sight, this looks like a fairly well designed website. It's a WordPress website, and they use SiteGround as their host. And I think, if I'm not wrong, this is the Ajax theme. So will this site be a diamond, or will it be a fugazi? Time will tell. Let's jump in and take a deeper dive. So this is their homepage, not the traditional homepage where you'd expect to see information on the company or the products. Much like Verso, if you remember Verso, ver.so, who I believed was run by a gentleman who also owned a building company, and Verso is a name of cladding. They go straight into the hard sell, so no introduction, this is it. And if you look here, you see the majority of products are all in bundles. And that gives you the impression of bulk sales and a cost reduction. So let's hope their prices are reasonable. You can't actually buy one bottle of resveratrol. You can see here you have to buy a minimum of 3. So let's hope that that's cheaper when it comes to your purchasing. You can see here that you can actually buy one bottle of NMN, and we'll move on to the costs a little bit later. You can see that every single item they've got has been reduced, and this is a well-known marketing ploy, especially with drop shippers. And I'm not saying this company is a drop shipper, but that is definitely something that drop shippers do. They also have the countdown timer as well. This site at the time of doing this doesn't have that cheap and cheesy countdown timer. So let's go down. We've got a link to the first David Sinclair podcast. Nothing here that relates or links this company to David Sinclair, so that's good, just information only. We've got third-party test certificates, so that's good. They're both on the first page, so we shall be coming back to those, but that's nice to see. Then we've got the normal kind of copy text you'd expect, explaining what NMN does and what resveratrol can do. And then here at the bottom, we've got another link to a David Sinclair video. So that's it for the homepage. So stay on the homepage, but we'll flick across to the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. There are 10 of the normal questions about refrigeration. Is it safe? What's the dosage, etc. So I'm not gonna harp on about those. You can look at those in slow time if you like. A question I've always asked myself is how believable are these FAQs, or are these FAQs like testimonials, just a way of portraying trust or trying to give you confidence? Because for this company, Peter Davidson, who runs the company, we don't know who he is, we don't know what he looks like. Is it a way of building that trust and confidence. I'd be interested to see what you think. Do you hold any store in FAQs and testimonials, or do you think it's just a way that a company can build social proof on social media or website because you don't know who the person is, so you don't know who you're trusting? Interested to see what you think. So moving on to the next thing that I normally do, we'll look on the home page. We've got home, products, certificates, and FAQs, and we scroll all the way down to the bottom. All we've got here is a disclaimer, some dead links to methods of payment, and we've got their address, which, as we know, is spelled incorrectly. So what's missing from what's normally in the footer or normally in the header? Well, there's no About Us page, there's no terms of service, there's no privacy policy, and there's no returns policy. Now this, to me, is a big red flag. This is very worrying. This company wants you to buy in bulk, and if you look at this product, they want you to spend $388 on a product that when it arrives and you open it and you decide, I don't want this, what is the returns policy? Who do you send it back to? Who do you contact to start that process? There's absolutely nothing. Worse still, what if you open one of the jars and you look inside and you say to yourself, actually, I'm not sure this is what I think it is. But when you do finally get in contact with them, they say, yeah, there's no returns. That's it. Buy once and it's all over, so to speak. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you may not be able to see it because the picture of me, unfortunately, might be in the way, there is a Contact Us link. If you click on that, then you'll come to this page. I would definitely, if you're considering buying from these people, this company, I would fill this out and say, you don't have an About Us page. Who are you? What are you all about? What's your terms of service? What is your privacy policy? What are you going to do with all my data, etc.? And what is your returns policy? If I buy something and I don't like it, how long have I got to return it? Can I return it? What condition does it need to be returned in, etc.? These are all questions that I would definitely like answered before I went ahead and made a purchase from this company. So I think it's concerning. I think it's a red flag. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's look at their NMN. If we click on products and we scroll down, you can see here you can buy one bottle of NMN. So let's have a look at that. We can see that it's 60 times 250 milligram capsules, and they're talking about 99.8% purity. So that is very, very good indeed. They're saying independent lab certification, and we've seen those COAs, so we'll take a closer look at those in just a second. Unfortunately, they call it pure NMN and pure high potency. And as we know, this is just a marketing gimmick. There is no pure high potency NMN. It's just NMN. The only thing that matters is the purity. Now that said, 99.8 is great. So if you see these kind of pure high potency, super ultra pure, pharmaceutical grade, super duper, you can't bend it, you can't break it, ignore it because it's just marketing hype. What is missing from here really is a description of what NMN is and what it can do. And if you click on each of these arrows, then you're just going to get two pictures that are exactly the same. So you don't get any access to the information on the back of the bottles, which is directions for taking it, dosage, and also supplement facts. So vegan capsules, do they use fillers, etc. Because you can't see that, that's the norm. That's a bit of a red flag. I'd like to know if there were fillers. I'd like to know what the capsule's made of if I was a vegan. So not too happy with that. What they do have, however, is more chance for buying. So a little bit like Amazon, in that once you click on something, at the bottom you're going to get an upsell or a cross-sell or whatever they call it, marketing gimmicks, but no information about that actual product here, which is not really that good. So cost, you can see here they're selling it for $97. That's down from $115. And that's if it ever was $115. I hold very little store in people that reduce and have a sale on every single one of their products. It's an AliExpress dropshippers technique, if you like. So there are 60 times 250 milligram capsules. That works out at 15,000 milligrams or 15 grams. So that cost overall works out at $6.46 a gram, and that is extremely expensive. Most companies that are selling in these small amounts, not the bulk, if you like, the 100 gram bags, but bottles like this, for around $3.50 to $4 a gram. So $6.46 is not a good price in my humble opinion. Even if you scroll down and you get the 3-bottle package for $270, that's only going to knock you down to $6 a gram. Again, when you compare $6 a gram to the $4, $3.50 that you normally pay, in my humble opinion, this is very expensive NMN. And think back to no privacy policy and you don't know what the returns policy is. So if you buy it and you haven't asked those questions, you may not get your money back if you wanted to send it back. So that's it for cost. So let's take a look at their resveratrol. Now remember, you can't buy 1 bottle, so we've got to go with this 3-bottle deal. And this is it. There's no other way of looking at this. It's 3 bottles and it's the buy part of the website. No extra information, no look at the back of the bottles. You can just see 3 pictures at the front. Minimum spend $115, down from $135 if it ever was $135, which I doubt. 60 times 1,200 milligram capsules of resveratrol, which is 216 grams. That works out at 53 cents a gram, which is great. But everywhere I look on the site, whether it's part of a bundle or it's this or it's the information before, it just talks about resveratrol. So you can't be sure that this is not cis resveratrol. You can't be sure it is trans because it doesn't say that. So for me, that's a red flag. Trans resveratrol sells for around $1.50 a gram. This is $1 cheaper. So they're undercutting companies like DoNotAge.org by 200%. So in my humble opinion, this is cis resveratrol, which is not what we want. So that's it for their resveratrol. Let's look at their certificates of assay or certificates of analysis. We know there's a copy in the homepage. They've also got a dedicated tab here to certificates, which is great. You can see here they've got the 2 certificates. The company is ACS Laboratories. I don't think I've ever come across those before, or I know I haven't, so I looked at this. This is their logo. It says Australia quite clearly underneath Laboratories. This certificate doesn't say that, so that was a red flag to me. I contacted the company. The principal chemist, Vince Marone, Vince, great name, got back to me and said, yes, they had in fact conducted this analysis. If you look here, it says sample container labeled bottles. Now, I don't know if those labeled bottles are extra lifespan labels or if they come in a large bottle from China. I'm not too sure. And it says sample matrix white powder, not capsules. And companies like Microquality Labs, when they test these kind of substances, they tell you exactly what it is, whether it's tablets or capsules or if it's white powder. So if you're considering buying from this company, I would contact Peter Davison and say, you have certificates of analysis, well done. However, it says white powder. Did you send white powder to Australia? And when you received this certificate back, did you then capsulate the white powder with fillers? And if they did, then that's technically what they call food grade, and that it's not the pure NMN powder. You don't know what that volume is that you're getting. So that would be an interesting question to ask. The NMN powder, 99.8% purity, and all of these less than 1, which is great, microgram per kilogram. And then we've got the heavy metals at the top. And then when we scroll down here to the resveratrol, that's going to tell us 99.6 again, which is great. And then you've got the heavy metals less than 0.1 for all of those, which is outstanding. Going back to what I said before, I've checked all over the site. And even now when you look at this, it says the product that was tested was resveratrol and extra lifespan resveratrol. These companies know the code for resveratrol and trans-resveratrol. If this was trans, it would say trans here. So this is another thing that makes me believe you're buying cis resveratrol as well as the cost, and also they don't honestly, in all fairness, say it is trans. They just say resveratrol. So for me, I think that they are selling cis resveratrol, so I wouldn't buy it from them. So that's it for the certificates of assay. So let's move on and see what people say about them on Trustpilot. And they say nothing. Sorry, we could not find extra lifespan. Trustpilot also say the reason you can't find them is because perhaps there's a typo in your search. So I've done extra lifespan like this. I've done extra lifespan as 1 complete word. Extra lifespan as 3 words. Extralifespan.com. They don't exist whatsoever. or they say it's because the business isn't on Trustpilot yet, and I'm guessing that's what it is. They haven't claimed the page. That's a red flag for me, because any self-respecting business would claim the page. Whether or not there are comments there is not their fault, but you'd think they'd claim the page to be as transparent as possible and allow people to comment positively, hopefully, about their company. They're not giving anyone the chance to do that. So that's it for their Trustpilot page. Well, I hope you found that interesting or helpful, especially if you have or you're considering buying NMN or resveratrol from this company. Let's dive in and let's look at the three main headings that I cover when I do a review. Good looking website, professionally looking, easy to navigate. From the top, looks very good, but missing a terms of service, missing a privacy statement, and more importantly, no returns policy. So you don't know if you buy it and you want to send it back, even if you can. No social media presence, and no supplement facts that you could see from the back of the bottle. No Trustpilot page either. So that is going to earn them 2 out of 10. Let me know if you think I've been a little bit harsh with only 2 out of 10. Certificates of assay, one for NMN, which included heavy metals, and assurance from the company in Australia that they had tested it. So 10 out of 10 for that. Well done. Resveratrol is resveratrol. It doesn't say trans anywhere on the website, and it doesn't say trans-resveratrol on the certificate of analysis. So for that, they're going to get 0 out of 10. Let me know what you think. If you were going to buy from this company, would you go that extra mile and contact them and just say your certificate of analysis says white powder, but you're selling capsules? Did you send the capsules before fillers were added? Sorry, after fillers were added to the company? Or did you send a big pile of powder and then when you got it back, you added fillers and diluted it down? It'd be interesting to see if you would send that message. And let me know if you think, if you can double or second guess what they might say in a reply. Cost, NMN, $6.46 a gram for this quantity or small bottle is very, very expensive. Even if you buy 3 bottles in the bundle, it's still $6 a gram, which is 35% more expensive than the normal companies, the big 3 if you like, who have plenty of provenance. Resveratrol, 53 cents a gram, which is a great price, but again, they're not professing that it is trans-resveratrol. The certificate of analysis just says resveratrol, so I'm going to guess it is cis, which is not what I want, not what anyone wants. So that's going to get them 0 out of 10. So for that, total score, 3 stars. If you think back to as I went through the presentation, I was also awarding red flags, saying I think this is a red flag, that should be a red flag. So for this company, I'm going to give them a new metric, which is 5 red flags. Because I think 3 stars is actually not too bad. 3, 4, or 5, you might consider buying from that company. However, a good-looking website with all the terms of service, etc., may look good, but there may be niggling issues that you may want to question, and that's why I've introduced the red flag system as well. So 3 stars, but 5 red flags. And red flags are kind of the things that I would want to contact the company about and ask them before I would go ahead with the purchase. I wouldn't buy resveratrol from this company because I can't be sure it's not cis, and I wouldn't buy NMN because $6.46 a gram, or even $6 if I bought 3 bottles, is really, really expensive compared to other companies that are selling NMN and have been doing it for a long time and have got certificates of analysis from companies like Microquality Labs. Let me know in the comments below if you, like many of my viewers I'm sure, are from Beverly Hills, if you bought from or you would consider buying from this company. I'd be interested to see what you think. Also, let me know if you think I should do more than one of these reviews per month, because the list is now getting longer. I'm only doing 1 a month to try and chip into that list. I could probably do 2 a month every now and again if there's a need for it. People like these reviews. If you want me to do one, let me know the company name. Ideally, put in the URL so I can just go straight to the website, and I'll look at the website and add it to the list. Well, that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you find it informative. If you're considering buying from or you have bought from this company, I hope you found it helpful. I'll hope to see you in the next video. As always, please take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.